Hey there, welcome back to the Teachers AI Cafe, your weekly burst of practical AI tips designed for educators just like you. I'm Kane. In this episode, we're going to look at a different framework and for crafting those nice prompts that'll give you the responses you actually want. If you joined me in a previous episode, you'll remember the Ryzen model, the RISEN model that I actually went through. It's the model I prefer to use. It's nice and consistent and easy to do quick prompts with. The episode was really popular, so I'm going to do a series where we look at lots of different models, how you can apply them in different contexts. Today, with a model called the CLEAR model, CLEAR, which helps you get straight to the point, or some structured results from AI. But before we break that down, I've decided to do a bit of a recap of what's happening around the world of AI and education. So we're going to start with an article that was featured in Education Week last week. In the US, a journalism teacher, originally skeptical of AI because of a strong focus on ethics, she decided to test ChatGPT as part of a 16-week tutoring program. She used it to do the foundational work, grammar checks, formatting quizzes, generating writing prompts, and adapting study guides. And they're all tutted around the novel The Outsiders, which I think we've all read at some point. This freed her up to spend more time giving personal feedback and building relationships with her students in the classroom, the article reported. The results? She reported stronger engagement, more thoughtful discussion, and 0 robot takeovers, which is a lucky thing for all of us. But it's an example of how AI is working with teachers if we use it right or we've got the right skills. Like I said, you can read the full story in Education Week under the title, How One Skeptical Journalism Teacher Used ChatGPT and Why She'll Keep Using It. Go check it out. It's worth a good read. So let's get into the CLEAR model. So remember, it's CLEAR. Obviously, that's an acronym. It's a 5-part acronym for your prompts to get the structure right to try and get the first answer being the best answer. So let's break it down. C is for context. What is the background or the setup? L is for length. How long do you want the response to be? E is for explicit task. What exactly do you want it to do? A is for the audience. Who is this for? R is for response style. What should it be? A table, a script, dot points, multiple choice. Should be in friendly tone. Should be quite formal. So then you clarify there. When you give ChatGPT all 5 or your AI system, it stops guessing and starts producing reliable results for you. Let's go for an example. So just say you're teaching photosynthesis to your Year 7s. Here's a classic prompt you might give AI. Explain photosynthesis. You'll get that right. Now prepare it using the CLEAR model. And what I would want to highlight with CLEAR is you don't actually have to put it in the model of the acronym. You can mix the terms up as long as you get all the content right. So the prompt would be write a 200-word speech, which is length, that explains photosynthesis, explicit task, suitable for Year 7 science students, audience, in a friendly and informative tone, response style, assuming they've just learned about plant cells, which is the context. The difference is night and day. CLEAR prompt will give you a student-friendly script you can hand out, read aloud, or even turn into a class presentation activity. Remember, we don't do this isolation. Always check your responses first, read through it, make some adjustments as you need to, obviously for your students, also based on the content. But as I always say, AI is getting smarter and better all the time the more detail it goes into the model. Now let's have a look at one that's more teacher-approved examples across different subjects. In English, you could, similar model, is summarize the plot of Romeo and Juliet. That's the E. In 5 dot points, that's the R. For Year 10s, that's the A. We've just finished Act 2, C, in context. And in no more than 100 words, L. Once again, that's using the acronym in the order E, R, A, C, L. Let's go the components so you don't need to put them in the order as you go through. Write it in a natural language, but making sure you're getting these different components. An example for maths. Create a 10-question quiz, E, on Pythagoras' theorem, C, for Year 9s. A, with questions provided in a table, R, and keep it under 200 words in total, L. History, my favourite. Generate a 1-paragraph diary entry, which is L and an R, from the perspective of a World War I soldier, E, for Year 8 students, A, who just learned about trench warfare C. And you can use it in the practical courses as well. So, for example, we look at art. Describe 3 visual techniques used in Van Gogh's Starry Night E. For a Year 8 art class A, in a warm and conversational tone R, assuming they've seen the painting but don't know the terminology yet C. You can use these as planning time shortcuts, differentiation tools, or even for inspiration for assessments if you want to try something new or different. A classroom challenge, try it tomorrow. Okay, let's take one for a spin. Here's your do now, which I think it's important. I'll probably start putting these in there. This is your do now teacher challenge. Choose one upcoming lesson this week. Identify the clear elements that you need. What's the context, the length, explicit task, audience, and response type that you need. Then type it all into your AI model, and then copy and paste, tweak, and go when you look at the response. For example, try this one. Design a 15-minute retrieval activity, which is your E, on the causes of, I'll say the Cold War, but you put your topic in there, for Year 10 history students, A, in a quiz format and 5 multiple choice questions and answers, L. Now that format or that structure is just what the query would normally do. We just can change the different elements out to match your particular context. I'd really like to know how it goes. Seriously, I love getting feedback because if you give me that feedback to me, I can then adjust my podcast information to cater for what you want. So tag me, I'm at Kane Pittard on my social medias, or drop me a message. My email is in the show notes as always. So hopefully this episode has made your planning a little bit easier, but don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your teachers around you. Share it with your colleagues. And better yet, subscribe. If you've got a suggestion we'd like to do, certainly email me through and give me the comment. What I also like to do is obviously comment on Apple Podcasts. That's the majority of the people who are downloading from there. Write a really positive review. Give me 5 stars so other teachers can find it. So next time, keep your prompts clear, your coffee strong, and be creative in your classroom. Catch you next time on the Teachers AI Cafe. Keep up the good work.